We'll be right back with actor Julio Macias from the upcoming series, Selena, the series.
Are you guys ready to stop?
Baila esta cumbia un ritmo, ritmo sin igual, nadie se quede sentado.
On the road with Selena Diaz.
The traveling, the hot, the cold. She needs a break, Abraham.
Can't like him.
I mean it, Dad would freak out.
Selena.
Y las vinos.
Our first guest is not only talented, but greatly admired for his awesome delivery as Spooky Diaz in the popular On My Block on Netflix. He recently finished shooting the show everyone is waiting for, Selena the series. We want to welcome Julio Macias.
Hi.
Hi, Julio. It's so good to see you.
Same
Good morning.
So in Selena the series, you play Pete Astudillo. Tell us who this character is.
So I found out about Pete after I auditioned. You know, it was a very nice, long, thorough audition process. And when I booked Pete, I didn't really know who he was. So I started doing my research. And he was not only Selena's duettist, but an accomplished Tejano musician himself, with an amazing voice and a repertoire of himself for himself. And he started writing also with AB and Selena. So a lot of the songs that we now love and remember, Pete had a great deal to put into that and to write that and to translate a lot of lyrics that she was writing in English into Spanish. And man, like we say in Mexico, era una bala. Like that guy danced, sang, moved, composed. So they were big shoes to fill for sure.
You mentioned that that he wrote or co-wrote some of her greatest hits like Bidi Bidi Bam Bam, Amor Prohibido, and Como la Flor. So, but I wanted to also, before we talk about his writing and you performing, I guess, in the band, you said you had a strenuous audition process. Tell us about that.
It was just long. So Carla Hull did her due diligence, and she brought in an array of incredible Latinx actors and actresses to read for these roles. And so I read for Chris, I read for Joe. I never actually read for Pete, but it's funny because I read for Chris a couple of times. And I think that was just a good introduction to bring people in with sides that, had to do with Selena and connection. And when I auditioned in front of Rico, which is one of our executive producers, he's like, "Can you sing?" And I said, "Yeah. Can you sing us something?" So I said, "Well, what do you want?" It's like, "Well, anything in Spanish." I was like, "Oof, I know some mariachis and some boleros." And so he's like, "All right, sing something." So I was like, "All right, La Media Vuelta." And I sang La Media Vuelta, and it was just like the room kind of like, Spooky can sing? What is this? He brought in some other. We
gotta hear that. Hold on a second. Give us a little bit of La Media Vuelta.
Put him on the spot, why don't you?
Okay. Te vas porque yo quiero que te vayas. A la hora que yo quiera te detengo. Yo sé que mi cariño te hace falta, pero aunque quieras o no, yo soy tu dueño.
Bravo! Oh my God, you can sing. That's awesome. Well, we're glad. We actually had Carla Hull on the show, and she talked about the audition process and how she, brought as many people to the auditions as she could, and she did a great casting, and you included. So, congratulations.
Yeah,
we also had Noemi Gonzalez on, and she was telling us she had to learn how to play la batería, the drums. So did you actually play any instruments in your performance?
Pete, I had to learn how to cumbia. That was something that I didn't know how to do. So it was just, the 2-3 step kickback in the grocery store, in the shower while I was cooking. Pete was a singer. Sometimes he got the cowbell, so I got to, play the cowbell just on beat, which was fun in some of the concerts. But more than anything, even though he was a fantastic singer, I could sort of mimic his voice and I could get there. Where I had where I had to put in the work was the dancing. Yeah, I had to definitely hit the gym, if you will, or the studio for that.
So let us ask you something, because everyone is waiting for this project. I mean, Selena was just, a game changer on so many levels. So in your own words, what is it like to work on Selena, the series?
Daunting at first, and then as soon as the cast clicked, a blast. It was we were given the liberty to perform. So we weren't carbon copies of these people, but we were giving them, paying them homage and taking from them and getting a little bit about us. So it was like forming a new band, if you will. So going up there with Christian, there was moments, and I've said this before, where she would twirl, or where she would do something, and I'm like, yo, am I on stage performing with Selena right now? This is crazy. It was this euphoric energy, and you could see it in the takes. And at first, it was because we were mimicking the tapes that we would get from their performances. But after a while, I was looking at Gabe, who played AB, or Hunter, and we would just look back at each other and smile. And Jesse was playing Chris as well. Like we would crack up on stage, and we would keep it with the flow and the rhythm, and we would sometimes between takes before COVID, obviously, when we had an actual audience to play for, we would ask the AD, hey, can the first AD, could we play the music? Can we hype these people up? So even though we were lip singing in some of them, we would perform for the audience to get really right. It was a blast. It was really fun.
Wow. You mentioned Chris. Were you talking about Chris Perez a little? So you actually got to meet some of the real life persons?
Oh, no, not at all. No. We Jesse Posey, who plays Chris Perez,
Okay.
we all got really close, so we would look to each other on stage, and we would kind of nod at each other and be like, "Hey, what's up? We're doing this," and we would laugh. If we would trip up, we would catch each other and like smile it off and laugh it off, and like obviously there were multiple takes, but it really did become this band. Noemi, like you said, like salute to her. She really learned how to play those drums, and she kept the beat with us, this entire time. And Carlos, who played Joe, who was the other half of Los Bad Boys with Astudillo before the Selena days, he's a musical prodigy. That guy can play anything, and played really, really, really well. So we would kind of look to him. Hey, is this how you do this lick? Is this how you play this chord? How would you hit this beat? We relied on him as well. So it was fun. It was like a band.
Well, I have a question. What would Spooky say about you playing, you being in Los Dinos?
Spooky wouldn't say anything. However, Oscar Diaz would. He would be jelly. He'd be jealous and proud in a way, because he didn't get to do his whole culinary escapades. He didn't get to become a cook, but there's something creative about being a cook. You have to be able to grab different tastes and smells and combine them in an artistic way to create a dish. So I think he would have laughed, but also, I mean, these songs are some songs that you put on, and anyone in the Hispanic Latinx community would you can't help but like kind of rock, even if you're not a Selena fan. Like it's one of those songs that just you're born with, I feel.
It's infectious music. I wanted to ask you also about On My Block. I know you guys were announced that you have a 4th season back in July of this year, and unfortunately, because of COVID, I don't know where that's at. So can you give us a little insight into it?
We're being very careful. Same as Selena. Selena had to sort of get a lot of actors free for the future engagements. So they doubled down on their investment for COVID protocols and whatnot. And Lauren, being the amazing showrunner that she is for On My Block, is taking it very slowly, very carefully, making sure that all health requirements are met, so that the actors and the cast and the crew and the creatives are all protected and still work without having any feeling of, are we going to get shut down? Are we going to get shut down? Are we going to get shut down? I know kind of where the fourth season is going, and I'm very excited to bring this version of Oscar to the public. But that's about all I got.
Okay.